Hi, this is Mohammed Sadiq. In this session, we'll learn about data modeling in Power BI. Data modeling is nothing but a concept of creating a relationship between the tables. So why do we need a relationship? Is see, if I have to follow the RDBMS, okay, so what happens to avoid the redundancy, we make it as a separate tables, or just imagine you are getting the data from multiple tables and you have to join that data from multiple tables and then you have to create the reports. Okay, let us see this particular data here. I just have this particular online retail store. This is very similar to your online what is say sample superstore data. It is about the e-commerce data. Now we have almost 51,000 rows, 50,999 rows. Okay, so that is 51,000 rows, and we have a good amount of columns, around 20 plus columns are there. And now when you see here, each row gives me the information about the orders. Now in this particular table, when you observe the headings in this particular table is, we have this particular order ID. Okay, generally when I talk about order ID is a key field which is representing every order uniquely. Okay, so every order is being uniquely identified here. So order one is one order, this is another order, this is another order. Fine. Now, apart from the orders table, we do also have a customers table, address table, products table. Okay, now what is this one? Is now when the order is being placed, whenever the order is being placed, okay, the order is being given to a customers, we need the customer details. Order is going to be dispatched to a particular address, we need the address details. Order is placed on the products, that means every order contains the products. Okay, now here instead of giving the customer details, location details, that is the address details, as well as the what you say the product details, they just have only what you call it as the product what you say customer ID. We have a address ID, a product ID respectively. So what is this particular IDs represent? That means they are representing to a data of another table. So that means it is representing as a, the customer ID is a reference column referring to the customer table. Address ID is the what is say reference ID. Okay, that is, it's a column which is used to relate for the address table, and the same thing is your product ID for the products table. Okay, let us see this. Let me clear the annotation here. Fine. So when you see here, okay, and why do we need this? Yes, I'll tell you. So in the customer table, we can see customer ID is there. Every customer ID has a name and what segment of customer he is. Now, why do we need this store? Why it has been stored separately? Okay. Now, when you look into this particular, what is say the orders table, so customer one, he has placed many orders. You can see around 45 different orders the customer one has placed. When you see here around 45 different orders, only customer one has placed 45 orders. 45 times he has placed the order. Now, if I maintain the data as a combined, what will happen? Whenever the customer ID is repeated, with the customer ID, the same name will be repeated and the address also will be repeated. That means customer ID one is representing for the customer name called as Rick Hansen. What type of segment of customer? He is an individual customer. Okay, now let's take the second thing. When you talk about the second customer, again, he has also placed around 50 to 60 different multiple times he has placed the order. So that means number of times again, this customer has to be repeated. Who is this? Justin Ritter. He is a corporate customer. So information has to be repeated. To avoid this redundancy, we have maintained the customer table separately and the orders table separately, and the customer or the order has been placed by the customer. We just take the customer ID and we process the order. Okay, and the same thing when you talk about this address ID here. So from one address, there are many products which has to be displayed, or many orders is going to be dispatched on the same address. So now if I maintain this, you can see the address 4, there are so many this one orders. So if I maintain in the single table, so that means whenever address ID is repeated, we have to repeat, which city it is, which state it is, which country, which region. So this redundancy is kept away. Okay, so that is the main purpose. The same thing is the product ID. So what happens is in the case of the products table also, the same product would have been dispatched for many orders. Like, what I mean to say is when I take any order, sharp, wireless, fax, high speed, okay, this is one product. So we have many quantities of this, and some quantities is given to one order, another sum of quantity is given to another orders. So like the same product or been what I say given for 20 orders, 100 orders, more than 100 orders. So then what happens is, okay, whenever the product ID repeats in the orders table, the product name, the category, subcategory information also has to be repeated. So there'll be a lot of redundancy in the data. That will create a lot of inconsistencies, and also will create a lot of anomalies, which we can discuss about that in the RDBMS concepts. Okay, so that is where the data has been spread separately and stored. Okay, now the challenge here is, okay, so and in the orders table we have the information is when the order was placed, shipped, what is the mode of this one, and what we have a measurable value. Okay, in that order, what was the sales value, how much quantity has been placed, whether discount was been given, if it is given, how much percent it was been given, what is the profit, what is the shipping cost. Okay, we just have this particular data. Now just imagine if I have to create a report where I want to see region wise what is the sales, segment wise what is the sales, each customer wise what is the sales, each category wise how much sales is done by the furnitures, how much sales is done by the technology. We cannot do it with a single table because I don't have category details here, I don't have a product details here. Okay, I don't have a address details, I don't have a segment customer name here. But okay, we have a customer ID, address ID, and the product ID. When this kind of a questions has been given, then what we can do is, okay, suppose if I have to get the category wise what is the sales, I need to link this product ID to this particular product ID, and then find out what all the furniture categories are there, and take only those orders belonging to matching to furniture categories, then sum up. Okay, that is how we need to do it. Now let us see how do we do this in Power BI. Okay, so this is okay, we need to combine this and we have to create a report. Let us see it practically in Power BI. How do we do it? I'm just opening my Power BI. I'll just go to my data here and I'll try to load this particular data. So file name is online retail store. Okay, I'll share this particular in the link below. I'll just go to the Excel workbook. I'll just say connect. Since my data is of Excel, I'm just connecting to Excel file. Now the file is online retail sales. I'll just select this open. When you open this, so now you can see this has 4 sheets: orders, products, address, and the customers. And each also we have created table in Excel. Okay, we can either read as a tables or we can read it as a sheets. Okay. Yeah, so since we have 4 tables here, so it will take few seconds of time to read it. Yeah. Yeah. So when you see here, I have this particular 4 tables here. I want to read all the 4 tables, say address table, customer table, orders table, and the products table. I'm selecting all this. And then what I will do, I'll just click on the load button. So when I click on this particular load button, so you can see all those particular 4 tables are getting loaded. And each table has a lot of data here. So since data is a lot, okay, and there is a huge data here, so it will just take few seconds of time. So you can see already it has started loading some of the tables. And once we load this, we need to create a relationship. Don't worry. What happens, the Power BI is smart enough, if the column names are same, it automatically creates the relationships also. But we'll also see how exactly that relationship is being checked and how it has been created. Yeah, all the 4 tables are loaded. Okay, and things. Now here, when you see in this one, we have 3 tabs here. This is representing your report view. This is for your data view, and this is representing your data model. Okay, so report view is where we see the visualizations. I want to create the graph. Okay, I want to create tables. Okay, what do you say? Yeah, calculation columns, tables, graphs, and all those things we create in this one. So this is for reports. And this one is representing your table. Table is whatever the data you have loaded, it is read in the form of tables. I want to see this particular output as a table. So we see that. And this one is for seeing the data model. Okay, thanks. So I'll just say this is your data model. Okay, and this is your what is it, data view. So that means you're viewing in the form of a table, and the first one is your report. Okay, report, data view, and model. Okay, Fine. So now we'll see, go to the model and we'll see how do we create a relationship. So let me clear this. Yeah. So now if I have to create a relationship, you can see on your right hand side, towards your right hand side, we have all the 4 tables are being loaded here. Okay. So we can see all the 4 tables: address table, customer table, orders, products. All the 4 tables are loaded as 4 individual tables. Now I need to create a relationship for this. Now, when you select any table here, okay, when you select any table, you go to the data view, you can see the preview of the data. Okay, how exactly the data is. Yeah, you're able to see the actual data here. So which will tell me, like, how many rows are there, and all those things will be seen. So with the column name and also the data. And we can see here we have 3,636 rows. And when you see orders table, so we have almost 50,921 rows. Fine. Now, I want to create a relationships between the orders table. So has to be related to the customer table using a customer ID, has to be related, the orders table has to be linked to the orders table using address ID, and the same orders table has to be linked to the products using the product ID. Now, if I have to do this, I'll go to the model view. As soon as you click on the model view, it takes me for the model, and you can see here it has automatically created the relationship. You can see all the 4 tables, and it has been created with the relationship. All the 4 tables are there. We have the products table, address table, and also we have the other table is the customer table. We can see we have all the 4 tables, and we can see all the 4 tables are also being related here. Now we can see the kind of relationships given here is, when you focus on this particular line here, it just says, okay, the relationship between the product and the orders is done using the product ID. So you can see using a product ID of the products table is linked to the product ID of the orders table. And also we can see that the kind of relationship is 1, and here it is given as a star. Means in the products table, the product ID is unique. It cannot be repeated. But the same product ID can be repeated n number of times in the order. That means same product would have been sold for many orders. Okay. The same thing when it comes to a customer table here, you can see the relationship. As soon as you focus on this, you can see customer ID, and customer ID has been highlighted there. So that means the relationship between the orders and customers is created using the customer ID. And also you can see the relationship in the customer table. Customer ID is unique, 1, and in the orders table, the customer ID is star. That means in the customer table, the customer ID should not be duplicated, but the same customer can place many orders. So every time he places the order, the same customer ID will be repeated. Same thing is your address table. Okay. See, one thing is here, I did not create the relationship. I just clicked on the model view. Okay. And you can see it is automatically a relationship is created. Now, on how it got created is the Power BI was smart enough to detect the tables and the columns between the tables. So since there was a common column, like between this table, we have a product ID, the names were same. So based on that, the relationship is being created. So one thing is, if the column names are not same, the relationship will not be created. So mean to say automatically, then in that case, you have to explicitly create it. What I mean to say is, in the product table, imagine you have given the product ID as product ID, but in the orders table, if you have given as PID, okay, so in that case, the PID and the product ID refers to as 2 different names. Okay, Power BI cannot create a relationship in that case. You have to explicitly create. But it's a good practice, maintain some good, naming conventions, so that most of the things will be done automatically. Now let us see, okay, if I have to create a relationship, how do we do it? So if we have to create a relationship, so you can see in this particular model view, we have this particular thing here called as, what you call this, manage relationships. So you can see here, we have this thing called as manage relationship. I'll just click on this particular, manage relationship. I'll just click on the manage relationship. And you can see here, so between the 4 tables, 3 relationships been created. Let me delete this. I'll just say delete. I want to manually create the relationship here. Delete the relationship. I'll select this also. I'll say delete it. Now you can see the relationship has been removed. Yeah, refresh. You can see the relationship. There is no relationship. Now I want to create a relationship. So what will I do? I'll just go again to the manage relationship. There are 2 things here. we have something called as auto detect. When I say auto detect, it will automatically detect the common column names and will try to create a relationship, which by default, how it happened, the same way it will be created. Suppose if I want to do it, I just hit on this auto detect. You can see automatically it will say, okay, three from relationship has been found, and it is creating that. Okay, I think I'll just say close it. Yeah, you can see it has been done, but I say no, I want to manually do it. I'll just delete this. Yeah, so let me delete this relationship also. Okay, now I have removed all the relationship. I want to create a relationship now. If I have to create, so you can see we have this new NEW, new button. Just click on this. Now, I want to create a relationship between the products and the orders table is one thing. So we can drop down here and select. I want to create a relationship between the products table and the orders table. Fine. Now, as soon as you select this table, what is the common column in both? What is the common column in both? Product ID. Automatically, it has detected this is a common column and it has been selected. Okay, if the spellings are not the same and all these things, in that case you just need to select. You just need to select. That's it. Okay, so and you can see this has been done, and you just need to say okay here. I just need to say okay. The relationship between the products and orders is created using the product ID. I'll just create another relationship here. The same way, I want to create a relationship between the address and the orders table. And the common column here is again, so what happens, it has detected that the address ID and address ID. Address ID from the address table is mapping to the address ID of the orders table. Okay, and I'll just say it as okay. Fine. This also is done. Now I'll just create another relationship is between the customers and the orders. What is the common column here? Customer ID and the customer ID. It has been selected. I'll just say okay. That's it. You can see it has been done. I'll just say close, and you can see the relationship will be created with all the tables. You can see it has been created. This is how we manually create a relationship. Now, once this has been done, so now what I will do, what is the use of this? So once this has been done, so what you need to do is you don't have to do anything. Just go to the report. Just go to the report. In the report, what is that I do is, suppose I want to see category wise what is the sales. Okay, like how much sales is done by the furnitures. Okay, so that is like, what I mean to say is, I go to my say products table. We have three different categories here. Okay, furniture is there, office supply is there, technology is there. So you can see here we have three different categories here. So furniture, office supplies, and technology. I want to see how much sales is done by each category wise. Okay, so let me go here. I just do a table here. Okay, I'll just insert a table. So where I'll just say, okay, I want the fields here. Category is there in the products table. So what I'll do, I'll just go to the columns here. I say category. Oh, from the products table, we have a category selected. And I want the sales. I'll just hit on this add. I say I want looking for a sales. So now where is the sales here? It is there in the orders table, selected. Yeah, so we can see here we are able to see the category wise how much sales has been done. So total sales is around 126 lakhs. Okay, 24,000. 126 lakhs 24,000, and out of which, so we can see 41 lakhs by the furnitures, 37 lakhs of sales by the office supplies, and 47 lakhs of technology sales is there. Now I say under that I want to go to the subcategory. Yeah, so we can just go to this particular data tab here. So where is the subcategory comes in? It comes in the what do you say, the products. I just select the subcategory. Okay, so we can interchange this. Yeah, I can just put the subcategory under the category. So under furnitures, we can see bookcases. There's a sales. What has been done? Okay, fine. So now let us do one thing else. I'll just go with okay, subcategory is there, but I want to see the region wise how the sales is done. So in that case, I'll take the matrix here. So where I can add the data into rows and columns. I'm just convert this particular same thing to this one, and I'll just remove the category. Okay, fine. So I have just taken this particular, okay, when I go to the matrix, we know in the matrix, we have the rows and we have the columns. In the rows, I've taken the subcategory, and this is showing me the subcategory wise how the sales have happened. But I want to divide this based on the region. Now, region is in which table? Okay, see, I'm taking the subcategory from the products table. Okay, or I'll go with the category itself. Let us keep it simple. So I'm taking the categories from the products table, sales from the orders table, and I want to see the region wise how they have been performed. I'll go to the address table. In the address table, I have a region here. You can see in Africa how much of furniture has been sold. Canada, how much has been sold. We are able to see this. Excuse me. Okay, or like say example, category wise, I want to see furniture segment wise how the sales has been done. So in the columns, I can add a segment. Okay, a segment is there in the customer. I'll just select from the customer. I'll go to the segment wise. So you can see furniture, total sales of furniture is 41 lakhs, but you can see segment wise. Corporate segment, 12 lakhs of sales is done. Government sectors, we have 7 lakhs 23,000. Yeah. And individual 21 lakhs. So we can see we have more sales from 12 lakhs. Okay, 125 lakh. Okay. 12 lakhs 55,000, and individual is we have 21 lakhs. So that means we are getting more business from the individual customers and very low business from the government sector of customers. So we are able to analyze this. Okay, this is where exactly we use this. So you want to create a chart or any of this ones, you can just create it. So based on this one. So this is the use of data modeling. Okay, fine. Suppose like, you want to create a map. I can just select the map. And in the map, I want to select the region or a states. We can just select the states. Cool. And so in the map, what is that I want? Locations, I'll just take from the address table. I'll just take the country-wise sales. I'll take the country. I want to see the country-wise. And what you say, the bubble size, I'll take the sum of sales. Each country-wise, how the sales have happened. Okay. Or instead of country is too much, I'll just say region-wise. So we can go with location. I can just go with region. I'll go to the address and we select the region. Yeah. So each region wise, like, Africa region, how's the sales? South America, how much is the sales? North America, what is the sales? Okay. Asian region, how the sales have happened. So we are able to see this. So what is that we see, understand from here is, so when you observe this one, so we are getting some columns from what you say, address table, some columns from the orders table, some columns from the categories table, okay, customer table. So we are able to get like this and then create this particular visualizations. Fine. Yeah, this is about your data modeling. So thank you.